Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on Midday Kentucky. Amber Freeman here with Kaylor Slagle. He is CIO of Kentucky Storage Underground, among many other things. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. It's weird. Like, I'm used to being 130 feet underground, so being above ground is really weird.
Well, do you feel like you're kind of in a cave because we have all this technology behind us today?
It feels similar to it, yeah.
Well, you look well accustomed to it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you for being here.
I see we kind of matched.
Yeah, we have matching socks. I'll show you. I have to unzip, but, well, not that way. Unzip my boots. But nice start to the show.
Yeah,
this isn't your first time on Midday Kentucky.
It's not. I was a guest before.
Right.
Doing our podcast, talking about our podcast, and now I'm with you here co-hosting.
Well, and we switched it up a little. We're not in the studio.
It's weird.
We have to tell everybody right off the bat, this isn't going to be the normal. Just bear with us for a couple of weeks, because if you can get through I almost feel like we're in a spaceship.
Agree.
If I see behind us, and I'm like, I feel like there should be people back there. Those are really just tape decks. But we're getting an entirely new studio. They're doing the floors this week. It's going to be gorgeous, but if you hear some banging, it's like a construction zone. So
fair enough. Just
feel with us. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you mentioned your podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump right in. I listened to some of your podcasts throughout the week. You gave me like that zip bang hello life kind of thing that I needed.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Well, you know, I've just always been about motivation, professional development, personal development, and it's really something that we instill at our company as well. But I think it's something everyone should do every single day. You know, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
That's a good advice, and it's actually, that's one of those things that kind of hurts, because you're like, ooh, what am I doing? Yeah. Well, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So, I mean, again, I'm all about personal and professional development. I've been here about 3 years now. Work for Kentucky Underground Storage, 130 feet underground, and yeah, I'm just all about developing, all about bettering myself every single day.
A lot of times, well, plug your podcast so that people can go listen to them so they know what we're talking about.
Sure. The Not Average Audio Experience, you can look it up on iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere you know that you can find podcasts.
I was listening to one called Unleashed today, where you did with, I guess, a guy named Caleb. Is that? And you said some things that just we lose so often. One, and I'm just going to go right in. You are most like the 5 people you surround yourselves with.
Absolutely.
It's funny how you just listen to something, and it's like, that's what I needed. Is that what you hear from people when they listen to this?
Yeah, you know, I hear that all the time, and I think, I mean, it's so profound to think that way, right? That you are the 5 people you surround yourself with, and that's not my thing. I mean, that's coming from a lot more influential people than myself, but you can see it, right?
Right.
You start looking like your friends, you start talking like your friends, you start being like your friends, and if you're not surrounding yourself with better people, then you kind of just stay here.
Level up, right?
You got it, yeah.
Well, and that, before you even got into that, you were talking about how your entire life is a perception of how you perceive it, and then you live it out. Exactly. That's so profound as well. It's so often we get so caught into things being whatever it is, because we're either empathetic with the people around us, soaking in those emotions, soaking in everything that's happening. Change is inevitable, and I loved that you said you are comfortable with change.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, you know, it's interesting, right? We judge everyone else based on the results, but we judge ourselves based on our intention. And I think we've got to get really serious about judging ourselves on what we're actually producing. And the only way to do that is to write down goals, to track ourselves, and to get better.
That's serious talk, because you're holding yourself accountable.
You got it.
And then you kind of lead those people into holding you accountable as well.
Absolutely.
It's all a big cycle. No, I'm telling you, listen to this, because it's been rainy the past few days. It's been gloomy. There's a lot of stuff going on. We all get stuck in that rut.
Yep.
And sometimes you just need that, hello, ding, ding, ding. It's almost like an alarm that goes off that we're not stuck.
I think at the end of life, you have a lot of regrets, right? You can either regret it or be happy.
Right.
And I always say, you know, you can either wish you would have or be glad that you did.
Which I love that.
And I want everyone and myself to be glad that they did, that they tried.
Right, because you have to try. And we all get stuck in those things, and it feels like you're like, almost a blanket over you, and you just want to avoid it. And you even talked about that. You sometimes need those moments to grow, and out of that uncomfortableness, is that a word? Uncomfortableness?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you grow and you expand.
Absolutely.
So yeah, listen to this podcast, plug it again, because I'm telling you, it was that zing.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Which one is it? Which you tell us again?
It's the Not Average Audio Experience.
Okay, awesome. All right, listen to those. Then watch this. All right, there's a conspiracy theory. It's been going viral. YouTube star Shane Dawson released a new video where he investigates conspiracies. And in only 24 hours, his recent one about Chuck E. Cheese racked up at least 8 million views. In the video, he explores whether Chuck E. Cheese recycles their pizza. That's a thing. All right, people are claiming that slices are different sizes when they receive their pie.
Okay, first of all I can think about with Chuck E. Cheese is those scary animals.
Oh,
You know,
don't
like,
like
that's what I
them.
think about.
Like,
No.
don't they have a mouse? Is that
Yeah,
what it
like,
is?
that scared me as
Is
a
his
kid.
name Chuck? Is his name
don't
Chucky?
know.
I don't know why. I don't know why the place would be called Chuck E. Cheese and his name's Chuck.
Right.
I always think the ball pit, like you
Yeah,
go in and play
sure,
games.
sure.
I don't know if I've ever even had pizza at Chuck E. Cheese's.
I don't know that I have either.
Okay, well, here's a look at the pizza, and they're saying that these pizza slices are all not the same size. Chuck E. Cheese is rebutting this, saying that all of their pizzas are made to order. What do you think? Let's do some serious investigative reporting, and is this something?
We should be on site.
Yeah, is this something that we really? Yeah, we should be. Why are we not at Chuck E. Cheese eating their pizza? So what they? I thought, don't they have a buffet, or can you order pizza?
Great question. I don't know.
Listen, you need to expand your world and go to Chuck E. Cheese today. All right, you talked about, and it's funny because in your podcast you talked about social media.
Absolutely.
And about how everything you see on social media feeds your mind. Speaking of feeding your mind, would this change your mind? Would you?
You know, I think I'd investigate it, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I'd investigate it and make sure it's true. So, yeah, I think a lot of people would see this and not go to Chuck E. Cheese.
It is a little, I mean, that does look a little suspicious.
It
What
does.
they're claiming is that the pizza slices that are left over, like at tables when people are there,
Okay.
that the wait staff brings it back into the kitchen and then they just reheat it and reuse it. Would you eat it? I see Tori over there shaking his head. Tori, would you eat this pizza? Yeah, he would. He doesn't care. It's interesting. But what do you think about social media stars?
So I think influencers are a great thing. I also think that you know, that is the way it's going. It used to be you had to be, you know, someone like yourself, a personality at a station.
I am not an influencer. Have you ever seen my social media?
It's pretty good. I've been
No, it's-
following you.
Oh my God,
yeah,
you
it's
have?
pretty good. Absolutely.
Hello. Well,
yeah.
it's non-existent. I
Yeah.
need to step it up.
So I think it used to be you had to be at a station, at a network, and now, like, if you have a cell phone, you can become a star.
But that's okay. So there's a bad side to that as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. But you are what you feed your mind, right? So you're going to have the bad and the good, and hopefully people do it for positive and not negative.
What do you think? Is this positive or negative? Because you're not just feeding your mind, you're kind of feeding your stomach in this one as well.
For this right here, or for the
Oh,
Chuck
no,
E.
not
Cheese?
this.
Oh,
Chuck
Chuck
E.
E. Cheese. Oh yeah, I wouldn't read it.
You wouldn't read it?
No, I wouldn't read it.
Okay, so you're just going to dig right in.
You got it.
Chuck E. Cheese date. After this, we're going to do some serious investigative reporting for you. And you think that's funny, TSA. If you don't ever think TSA is funny, right? When you're going through the airport, it's kind of the last thing you think. Like, oh, this person feeling me down, patting me to see if I have all this crazy stuff in my jacket. They're not funny. They are funny.
Really?
Watch this. TSA does have a sense of humor. The Transportation Security Administration released a video on its Twitter feed Monday showing the 10 strangest items it confiscated in 2018. Let's look at 5 of those items. All right, that right there, what do you think that is? Tell us what it is, Gaither.
It's a snake. I
That's a
think.
snake. Yep. I don't know why somebody would think that they can get through
A live
security
snake.
with a snake.
I'm not a big fan of snakes.
No, so and it's in a bag, like, but
Sure.
everything goes. So what is wrong with people? Are they smuggling the snake? Is it their best friend? I don't know. What do you think about this?
I think it's crazy. I mean, what's the craziest thing you've taken on an airplane? No?
So I used to live on airplanes for a good probably 5 years of my life, every week, every weekend. One of the scariest things, and you go through sometimes, and especially in other countries, because you don't know exactly what they're saying, and you just see their facial expressions as they're like going through your bags. I was in maybe Hong Kong, and they were going through my bag, crazy, like putting it all in all of these plates, and I was like, what do I have in there? I was so worried. Come to find out, it was like a little sewing needle. Sewing needle.
You're going to take over the plane.
I mean, I was like, but you question what you have in your bag
Yeah.
at those times. And I mean, it was a big thing. No, I don't sew, first of all, so I don't know why a sewing needle was in there. How about you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't really carry anything weird, so I can't sympathize.
You're not going to make the list.
I know, it's horrible.
We'll go to the second one.
Okay.
This is a Freddy Krueger glove. Do you have a picture of that? I don't know. Is that weird?
It looks
Is
pretty
it weird that I
It
just
looks
asked that
pretty weird.
question? Doesn't everybody carry a Freddy Krueger glove in the thing? All right, number 3. Read this one.
A knife and a baby carrier.
I mean, I don't think that's that weird either. Maybe you need to cut apples well, babies don't eat apples. Or I don't know, is that weird?
Sure. No, I don't think so. Hey, look, I have a 4-year-old.
Okay,
And
so
like, you carry weird stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
I
You
feel-
got to be prepared.
if you have kids, you're probably more apt to carry weird things, right?
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
just never know.
I'm sure it was like in the stroller, they forgot about it, they go through TSA and they catch it. You know?
It is a big knife, but I can see where that's strange. All right, number 4 is a ridiculously fake bomb. Do you think they were just looking for attention on this one?
Absolutely.
Like maybe it was a social media star in the making that was like, we're filming this.
Sure.
All right, number 5, giant scissors. Again, maybe they were going to an opening. They needed to cut, maybe their entire life. They like to celebrate, to cut those ribbon openings.
Yeah, I think you're more empathetic than I am. Those are huge scissors.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with those. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in an airport?
No, I have no idea.
Really?
Like really, like weird. I can't think of it. Yeah. No. How about you?
A lot of stuff. That
Really?
would be an entire story. But I love
Really?
airports. Yeah, I love them because it's great people watching.
Yeah.
But airports, people are kind of at their worst because it's stressful. It's Walmart. I'm just switching over. Walmart and airports. I always feel like you could just watch people and have material for days, and maybe look at your own life and be like, yeah, I do that. I need to change that.
I agree with that. I think the weirdest airport I've been in, well, the best airport was Israel. I went to Israel, did
okay.
aerospace sales before, and I was in Israel, and that place is like the most secure place ever.
I believe that.
Checkpoints everywhere, like you feel very safe.
Yes.
And I think that was kind of like the weirdest thing was seeing all these people that they have for security, even more than we have here.
And it's big guns, isn't it?
Big guns.
Yeah, we're
Big
talking like,
guns.
I don't even know about guns, but like machine guns,
Big
if that's
guns.
a thing.
Yeah, sure.
And
sure.
so you felt more safe.
Yeah, way
People
more safe.
question that all the time. They ask if in other countries where they have people out there like that, if you feel safe. And I'm like, yeah, I feel more safe there sometimes than.
Absolutely.
All right, speaking of safe, 2 city council members are proposing panic buttons for taxi cabs, one for the driver, other for the passenger. However, officials are saying this is not a good idea because they were tested in DC, overwhelmed the 911 system. Others say this will be too big of an expense for the drivers. Okay, this is actually pretty serious. What do you think about having a button in there?
I think it'd be overused.
Do
I
you?
really do. I
Okay.
really do.
And
Yeah.
I'm on the other end. I think it's a good idea
You like
because, and it leads in, even in the news, we've had a lot of stories with Uber drivers,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't want to call out Uber, any of those kind of transportation where things have gone wrong. Oftentimes, I won't use companies. Before those were even options, I was in taxis all the time. There were some rides that I questioned what was going to happen at the end.
So you'd want it in there?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so something's going on.
Right.
Right? Situation's happening. You push the button. What happens? I guess cops
Yeah, and that's
show
the
up.
question. How efficient is this button
Sure.
going to be? Is it going to make your driver feel more accountable? I mean, there's one time I remember being stuck in the middle of maybe Dallas with a taxi driver, and it was like 3 a.m. No judgment, but I really think he had been drinking. And he got a little forceful about some things, and it was scary. It's scary, especially being a female. You don't know what to do in those situations. You're kind of putting your own safety and trust in somebody you've never met.
I guess having the option would be good, right?
Right.
Either way.
I
Just
can
having the
see
option.
where their arguments would. You think that it would be overwhelming?
I think it would be. I think people would. You know what people do? I mean, they have a button. They want to push it.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
Maybe false alarms, things like that. So I think it would be great for the people that need it for sure.
That's
but
true.
Which one outweighs the other? You know?
I always err on the needed.
Caution. I agree.
Listen, we had a story the other day where a second grader called 911 with help for his homework. So I feel like this might be a little more efficient.
Right.
Let us know, go online. These stories are, have you ever felt unsafe? Do you feel like a safety button would alleviate some of that? All that kind of stuff. That's a serious story. We also have the Chuck E. Cheese one on. So